1.1 Carbohydrates. This is the most abundant organic compound on Earth. They are produced during the photosynthesis of green plants, potato, sweet potato, grains, sugar, flour are some of examples of foods which contain carbohydrates. The main elemental composition of carbohydrates is carbon, C, hydrogen, H, and oxygen, or hydrogen and oxygen combine in 2 to 1 ratio in carbohydrates. Common molecular formula CX, Y times H2O. Carbohydrates can be classified into three groups as below according to the way they are formed. Carbohydrates, monosaccharides, C6H12 or 6, glucose, fructose, galactose, disaccharides, C12H22 or 11, maltose, sucrose, lactose, polysaccharides, enzymes C6H10 or 5, starch, glucose, glycogen, n equals number of monosaccharide molecules. Monosaccharide is a structural unit of carbohydrates. They are commonly known as simple sugars. They are crystal shaped, generally sweet and water soluble molecules. Glucose, fructose, and galactose are examples of monosaccharides. The characters of monosaccharides are discussed in the table below. Table 1.1 Characters of different types of monosaccharides. Glucose, ripened fruits, bee honey. The end product during hydrolysis of all starchy food is glucose. This glucose is absorbed into blood. Plants produce glucose during photosynthesis. Energy is released during breakdown of glucose in cellular respiration. Fructose, ripened fruits, bee honey, pumpkin, carrots, known as fruit sugar. Fructose is formed during ripening of fruits. This is the sweetest sugar. Galactose, dairy products. The end product during hydrolysis of lactose. No sweet taste. Disaccharides. Two monosaccharides join to form a disaccharide. During this process, a water molecule is released. In the same way, relevant monosaccharides can be obtained by hydrolyzing disaccharides. Disaccharides are sweet, water-soluble crystals. Monosaccharide plus monosaccharide, disaccharide plus water molecule. 2 times C6H12 or 6, C12H22 or 11 plus H2O. Maltose, sucrose, and lactose are examples of disaccharides. The characters of disaccharides are discussed in the table below. Table 1.2 Characters of different types of disaccharides. Type of disaccharide. Location is present. Other facts. Maltose. Germinating seeds. Union of two glucose molecules forms a maltose molecule. Glucose plus glucose. Maltose plus water. An intermediate product of starch hydrolysis. Sucrose, white and brown sugar, sugarcane and beet, some fruits. Phloem sap in trees. Union of Glucose molecule with fructose molecule forms a sucrose molecule. Glucose plus fructose, sucrose plus water. Lactose in dairy products. Union of glucose molecule with a galactose molecule forms a lactose molecule. Galactose plus glucose, lactose plus water. The only sugar that is absent in plants, not sweet as sucrose. The percentage of lactose in cow's milk according to the composition is 4% to 6%. The percentage of lactose in human milk according to the composition is 6 to 7%. Polysaccharides. Polymerization of large number of monosaccharides form a polysaccharide molecule. Hydrolysis of polysaccharide results relevant monosaccharides insoluble in normal water. They are not crystals. Cellulose, starch, and glycogen are examples of polysaccharides. The structure unit of cellulose, starch, and glycogen is glucose, but their properties are different according to the number of glucose molecules and how they are bound with each other. The characters of polysaccharides are discussed in the table below. Table 1.3 Characters of different types of polysaccharides. Type of polysaccharide. Location it's present. Other facts. Cellulose. Cell wall of plant cells in fibers. It is not digested in a human digestive system, but it helps to avoid constipation. Starch. Grains, yams, jackbread, fruit. The type of carbohydrate that stores in plants is starch, glycogen, animal liver, and muscles. The type of carbohydrate that stores in animal body is glycogen. For extra knowledge, figure 1.2, structure of a glucose molecule. Significance of carbohydrates. As an energy source, the main source to obtain energy for the activities of organism is the carbohydrate. The monosaccharides, glucose, produced due to hydrolysis of those compounds release energy. As a storage compound, as a structural component in plant cell wall, as a constituent of nucleic acid. Tests to identify carbohydrates. The below mentioned tests can be conducted to test starch, monosaccharides, and disaccharides, which are some of the identified carbohydrates in foods. Starch test. Small amount of food is obtained and grind well with water. A drop of iodine solution is added to the above solution. Purplish blue color appears. Test for glucose. A solution of glucose is obtained into a test tube. Few drops of Benedict solution to the above solution is added. The above solution is immersed in the water bath and heated. Can observe color changes as below. Blue, green, green, yellow, orange, brick red, precipitate. Test for sucrose. A sucrose solution is obtained into a test tube. Few drops of Benedict solution is added to it. The test tube is immersed in a water bath and heated. No color change. Few drops of diluted sulfuric acid H2SO4 is added to a freshly prepared sugar solution and heated. Next few drops of Benedict solution is added to it. Can observe color changes as below. Blue, green, green, yellow, orange, brick red, precipitate. Proteins. Protein is an essential constituent in all living cells. Carbon C, hydrogen H, oxygen O, and nitrogen N are always present in proteins. Sometimes sulfur can also be present. 17% of the mature human body is composed of proteins. Protein is a complex molecule made up of polymerized amino acid molecules. Meat, fish, egg whites, cereals are some of the foods rich with proteins. For extra knowledge, amino acids. Below is the structure of typical amino acid molecule. R represents a group containing both carbon C, hydrogen H. Due to the change in R group, 20 different amino acids are present. All proteins represent in organisms from bacteria to human are made up of these 20 different amino acids combined in different sequences. The simplest amino acid is glycine. Here hydrogen H is represented as the R group. Some amino acid cannot be synthesized within the body, so they have to be taken from outside with food. Therefore, they are known as essential amino acids. For extra knowledge, different proteins present in plants and animals. Proteins present in muscles, myosin, actin. Proteins present in bones, osine. Proteins present in red blood cells, hemoglobin. Proteins present in hairs, keratin. Proteins present in leguminous food, legumin. Proteins present in wheat, gluten. Proteins present in egg white, albumin. Significance of proteins as an energy source. When energy supply from lipids to carbohydrates is not sufficient, protein is used in energy generation. To make structure components, proteins are important components in making cell membrane. Hairs and feathers are also contain keratin proteins. As enzymes, all the biochemical reactions take place in organisms are catalyzed by enzymes. The enzymes are proteins as hormones. Some hormones are proteins which involve in homeostasis and coordination of organisms as antibodies. The antibodies that are produced in the body to protect the body against microorganisms that enter to the body are proteins. Test to identify proteins. Burette test. A solution made by grinding dal or an egg white is obtained into a test tube. An extra amount of sodium hydroxide, NaOH, and then few drops of copper sulfate is added into it, COSO4. Solution turned to purple color. Enzymes, the special proteins, organic catalysts that are produced within the organisms to increase the rate of biochemical reactions are known as enzymes. For example, to convert sucrose into glucose, glucose has to be heated within dilute acid. But the enzyme present in the digestive system to do the same reaction at low temperature. Therefore, the activity of enzyme is to catalyze the biochemical reactions. Engage in following activity on how enzymes function. Activity 1. Activity of amylase of starch. Materials required: flour, amylase, test tube, white porcelain tile, iodine solution, water, a stopwatch. Method: put 2 milliliters of starch solution into the test tube. Add 2 milliliters of amylase, filter solution of ground germinating green gram muck seedlings into it. Mix well. Get a drop from the solution after 2 minutes and place it on the white porcelain tile. Add a drop of iodine onto the drop of mixture. Continue same procedure for about 20 minutes and 2-minute intervals. The blue color of the drop obtained from the mixture gradually reduces with time and finally obtains the color of iodine, yellow, brown color. Starch gives black-blue color with iodine, but it does not give color change with iodine after 20 minutes as there is no starch there. That is because starch is converted to maltose by amylase enzyme. Lipids. Fats and oils belong to this group. Lipids, which are solid at room temperature, are called fats, and liquids are called oils. Similar to carbohydrates, fats also contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen as constituent elements, but a lipid contains much less oxygen than a carbohydrate. Lipids are insoluble in polar solvents, including water. They are soluble in organic solvents. Groundnut, coconut, gingerly, butter, and margarine are examples of foods which contain lipids. Fatty acids are glycerol react to form lipids. Fatty acid plus glycerol, lipids plus water.